Today's episode has been filmed and recorded. So, if you are listening to this episode, kindly refer to the description for the YouTube link. And if you are watching today's episode on YouTube, kindly refer to the description for the podcast link for Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Every little bit helps. Thank you and enjoy today's episode. Here at Finding Borders, we like to think of ourselves as a multinational podcast channel that attempts to have a meaningful conversation with anyone, anywhere in the world to gain insights, experiences, and advice. Now, today's guest was one of the biggest borders that we had to find so far. I interview Michelle Losper in South Africa, my mother, owner of Body Behold South Africa, a health and diet clinic that she started from the ground up with the experience and insight that she gained in the field in her time. We go into what it is to run a business, to deal with burnout, and on a more personal level, what it must be like for her after her divorce and to be separated from her 3 kids here in Australia. And without any further ado, my name is Llewellyn, and you are listening to Finding Borders. Roll intro, Season 2, Episode 6. So as I was saying, when we were growing up, I think I was 12 and you were working for this one diet clinic called the Diet That Everyone Talks About. And
Yeah.
you worked there for a while, prescribing plans for people, certain stages in their diets and their routines. And now you've started your 2 branches of Body Behold. So have you always been passionate about this side of health?
Absolutely. When I worked for those clinics, I got very good, intense training regarding nutrition. The owner of the clinics was a pharmacist, so he sent us some good courses, and we got a good foundation because everything is actually based on nutrition, the way we eat, the combinations of foods, and how to make choices and how to understand how certain foods influence our health. And so I've learned a lot from them. They trained us very good. So that's why I was so passionate about it, because usually most of the things I tell people, it's also a way of living. It's not like I'm not doing most of the things myself. So I try to tell them how to learn their lifestyles and train them to change the lifestyle. So that was my whole goal. That's why I wanted to start my own thing, to set my own label, my own way, because if you work for somebody, you have to go according to their standards, their rules, and there was some extras I wanted to bring into the business, and that's why I moved on doing my own thing, and I bring in products. I've got some products I also supply, some supplements. I won't just give them supplements. I'll always listen what the need is, and if I think they need the product, I will actually suggest it. But I don't like to work on a lot of diet pills. I've got good shakes and good stuff for the colon, but I don't like to just give a lot of pills and stuff, because you can't live on pills. and diet stuff forever. It's your body needs to get to a point where it needs to lose weight and keep the weight down by itself, because you've got a new lifestyle now.
Yes. And when was the moment that the light bulb went on and you knew you wanted to work for yourself? You wanted to start your own clinic and call it Body Behold. When did that happen for you, Mom?
Basically, it was in 2018. I just said, you know what, I left the industry for a while. I realized, you know what, I love working with people. I love helping people. I love seeing progress, and I missed it. And I actually started doing like this research on what will work. So first I bought a franchise back in Pretoria in Gauteng, and I worked, it was also my own business, but it was a franchise. So
Yes.
I just actually learned how to work in a diet clinic with treatments. And then lockdown came, and I had to close that clinic down for lockdown. And then I started Body Behold from my house. And then when lockdown lifted, I helped the people sometimes a week, just regarding the diet from my house, and that's where Body Behold started. And then when I moved down to Georgia in the Cape, I sold my franchise, and I carried on with Body Behold. And then I already brought in new treatments, more products, which was branded with my own name. Because with the franchise, I had to use their branding, their advertising. But if I do my own thing, I can carry on with my own promotion, own products, own branding, which was much more successful and a better. I just saw better progress working in that direction.
When you decided to start this clinic of yours, when the light bulb moment happened, and when you actually chased that dream of yours, did you find it particularly hard in two areas? One being that you were working for this one person at the diet clinic 10 somewhat years ago now, who was a pharmacist. Did you find it difficult launching into this career without any prior qualifications, apart from the experience you received?
No, not at all. I think I was confident in myself and in the training we got, because if you work with people, it's just, if you believe in your product, you believe in what you do, it just sells itself. And people actually see progress. And I get a lot of references from happy clients, because they really see progress, they see a difference. And I think it also depends on you as person, if you can work with people, if you are a people's person, because I think it's very personal. So people have to trust you. So they can't just go to anybody if they don't trust them, and the moment they come to me, they don't feel good about themselves. They feel overweight. So I have to build them up, and they have to trust you, and they have to tell you the most personal things, and it's like getting bonded with people, and that's why I was not fearful at all, because I knew what I helped them with, I believed in. And for me, it's not just selling diets and selling. For me, it's really helping people and really seeing progress. And I get a lot of happy clients, customers, and one person will refer 4 people to me, because they will just say, "Wow, you lost so much weight. What did you do?" And I've got one lady. She's 76 years old in us now, and she lost about 7-8 kilograms at this stage. It just goes to show it's never too late. And she brought 2 people to me, and so it's just like, if you're really confident, then I'm not scared at all, not at all, no.
Yes, and you'll find, a satisfied customer will tell at least 3 people of a good experience, whereas a dissatisfied customer will tell 10 people about their experience. So
absolutely,
the word of mouth is a priceless marketing strategy.
That's one of my biggest marketing strategies is word of mouth. I get most of my clientele with word of mouth, and it's a whole course we do. And I always tell them before we ever start, I always tell them they must get their mindsets ready first, and get themselves ready. So if they tell me, listen, they want to. If I ask them when they come for the consultation, I ask me when do they want to start the diet, and they tell me now they're going to start tomorrow morning. I tell them always never start a diet like that. Always start on a Monday. Get your week ready, because it's easy to tell or to say, listen, I want to start a diet with a full stomach. But tomorrow morning when the first hunger pains come, they don't stick it out.
No.
So I told them, listen, go and finish everything in your cupboard, finish everything in the fridge. Monday we're going to start a diet.
Yes.
So usually their minds are ready, and they shifted their minds, and then I can work with them. Otherwise, I just tell them, listen, don't do this. You're emotional now, because usually when they come to me, they're very emotional because they don't feel good. And then I just tell them, listen, go finish out this week. Monday we start out fresh, and I've had so many success stories if you work on that strategy.
Do you think that this market was hard to penetrate? If we go on stigmas, just because you're a woman entrepreneur trying to make it in a world full of men, did you find it especially hard then as well to penetrate the market?
This industry is very popular because everywhere, in every country, anywhere, women want to lose weight, women struggling and battling with cellulite, everybody. So I always say the success of this industry is really the person running the business. Because if they don't run the business with a heart with sympathy, a heart that really cares, you will not make it. You will just be another business. And it was hard. It was hard because you have, especially in George and in the garden route, in when I came here, it was not easy the first month or two, but then I had to get my name live in the area because nobody knew me. But everything, it's just marketing and just getting at first clients to get success stories. And then people will just go into my Google business account and they will just write reviews, and people will go and read my reviews. And then people will see that, they actually see what actual real life clients wrote. So yeah, it's just hard work to keep a business running, working for yourself. But it was not impossible, but it was hard work doing it.
Then when you took on this hard work and these chasing of satisfied customers to leave their reviews, do you think that this was instilled into you and possibly into us three kids because of your upbringing, because of your parents?
And it might be. I think my why I chose this industry mainly to help people, and I love seeing progress.
Yeah.
And one day is never the same than the other day. Every day is different. You meet a lot of people. It's like really every day is different because every person is different. Every case is unique. So I think that's what's driving me, because I can't just have like a boring everyday routine kind of life. I get like focused and driven to getting responses from things you put out. You get responses from that, and that's very satisfying in the industry that I'm in now.
I mean, just from what I know about our Oma and Opa, like they're business people. Oma was doing the bookwork side of things, the accounting side of things with their business, when the stories they've told me anyways. And then Opa, he was the hands-on man. He was always like, you have to deal with people. He dealt with people as well. He did everything for his customers. He was always the man of the answer. I think I think it wouldn't be impossible if some of that rubbed off onto you, because when we were still living at home, we were young kids, teenagers. You were working as a debtor's clerk for some time in your life. Like I do think it might have been passed on, that entrepreneurial drive, and then obviously the satisfaction that comes with when you succeed in business.
Yeah, I think with your granddad, I definitely got his side of doing business, being very it's easy going for me to interact with people, and he's a good salesperson, excellent salesperson, and he's excellent with people. And I definitely got that side from your granddad. Regarding the bookkeeping, and I can do it, but it's not my passion. I don't like it too much. I'll do it, but I'll rather be working with people and doing that side. I enjoy that. But like I said, when it comes to admin and paperwork, that's not my biggest love. I do it because I have to, but not bookkeeping. That's like I said, I can do it, but I don't enjoy that much. It's just it's just not my natural talent that I've got.
You'd outsource the job to someone like me who's actually studying to be an accountant.
Yes. Or rather leave it to the professionals that actually know what they do. I'll just mix up all the figures. They must leave it. Like I said, I can do it, but I don't always have the time to sit down and do it, because most of my day, especially in season, our biggest season is in South Africa is like summer. So people want to get ready for the beach, and then I'm very busy. Yes. From very early in the morning till late, I'm on my feet all day. So I don't have time to sit down and do admin. And usually after hours, I have to sit down and do that. And no, I'd rather just give it outsourced to somebody that's got the time to do it and the skills to do it.
I mean, you're a sole trader, like you're the only person who runs these two businesses, or do you have management in place to run a store when you're not there?
At the moment, I'm the only person. I'll do everything myself at the moment, but in future I will get help, especially in season, especially students that's training towards beauty, and just to get them, because there's certain hours they have to work, so just for them to get up and get some hours in, and just to help with because there's some stuff I can't do, because the training I get to use these machines. You must be certified. I've got certificates and everything. So anybody can't just do it. So I will just let them do basic stuff like reception and receive the client and take them through and clean up the equipment, machinery afterwards, and clean out the cubicles, stuff like that. But most of the things when it comes to nutrition, I do all the measuring, all the consultations myself, because it takes quite a skill to do that. But a youngster can come and help me, and just like a hand in this, just to clean up and take clients through, get them comfortable, check on them. I'm busy going to do that.
I also think, every time you put on new employees, you have a whole new idea pool that just forms. You have people, if we're defaulting to stigmas, the stereotype would be that I'm better with my phone and apps and stuff than someone who's older than me. So if you have a younger person come in, maybe they're savvy with Facebook and Instagram or marketing or whatever, like maybe they know how to do Photoshop, and they can set some of those things in place for you. And also like when you as a sole trader, for someone who has to run a new business for the first few years of operation, it's not uncommon to go and work over 40 hours a week. It's not uncommon to work unpaid overtime like you would do after a day's work, when you have to do all your admin and do the tills and count receipts and whatever else it is you have to do. Do you burn out sometimes? You feel overworked?
Yes, absolutely. Especially in season. From the season started here from about October, November, December. Like I'm fully booked all day. I've got
Yeah.
3 cubicles, fully booked all day. For me, being on my feet all day, you really get tired. At the evenings, you're so tired. And sometimes, some weekends, I would go in as well, because some people, they need to come in for the farazovin injections, because it's a very fast and very quick treatment, so you don't need a lot of time. So some Saturdays you have to go in and work, so your weekends are short as well. So yeah, but say for January, February, it's, well, even March I'm also still busy, but when winter time comes, that's very quiet. Nobody want to lose weight in winter. Even though I'm trying to tell them, rather lose the weight in winter.
Yeah.
And then in summer you're ready. So usually winter time it's more quiet, so then I'm not so stressed out, and overwork can really get very hectic, and I can really get overworked. But I've learned to manage it and and book my clients. So I have some kind of lunchtime during the day, so I can just relax and just take a few minutes off just to have lunch or something. So I've learned to manage to do that. Otherwise, you will work all day, never ever get a lunchtime or nothing. You will go straight to all day. And
Yes.
5 days a week is quite hectic.
So then, how do you handle when you feel overworked? Because you can't say, okay, I'll stay in bed and call in work and take the day off. If you don't show up, the system isn't running. So what's your routine when you feel burnt out? What do you do to pick yourself up?
I have no choice than to stick it out. Like you say, I can't say listen, because sometimes I've got like 12, 13 clients a day. I can't cancel on 13 because the moment I start doing that, then they see I can cancel, then they start canceling their session, because they see we're not serious. So I have to keep that in mind, that I cannot just call in a day and say, listen, I'm not feeling well, I'm tired, I'm not coming in. I can't do that. They will lose confidence in me as well. So I just stick it out. I've learned to manage it and try to rest up as much as I can. I try to rest up over weekends. So yeah, no, there's nothing really I can do to relating to just taking days off. That does not exist. There are people that's booked a month ahead of time, so I must be there for them.
Yeah.
And so I've learned to manage and live with it. So it's luckily my natural personality is like, I'm driven. I can work hard. I can work long hours. I've got energy.
Yes.
I'm enthusiastic about what I do, so it makes it easier in that sense. It's not dragging through my day and hating what I do. I love what I do.
Well, I worked at a truck center here in our town as an assistant accountant, as you know, and there's the chairman came into the staff room in the morning one day, and he said he doesn't like today. He was joking, but I think he was being serious at the same time. He said, I don't like today. I'm like, well, it's Wednesday, it's the middle finger of the week. What do you expect? And he says, no, I hate Wednesdays because Wednesdays are paydays. So they had to pay people on Wednesdays.
But you don't want to come to work.
Exactly. So I think when you're having a day like he does on a Wednesday, for instance, I think it's important to remember, like you said, that you're passionate about what you do, that you can, that you enjoy what you do, that you work for yourself, you make the rules, you are making your dreams come true. You're not clocking in for someone else. It's bought in all belongs to Michelle Losper. But yeah, like, and also, on a personal level, when you do get to those burnout stages and everything, do you is it sometimes hard for you to deal with the fact that your 3 children are in a completely different country to you, that you, and especially given this pandemic now, you don't know when you'll be able to see the 3 of us next. Like, does that eat you up a little bit, or does it make days, hard days, harder?
I think that's the hardest thing I have to deal with, because you're still my kids, and any mom wants to see their kids regularly and hear from them and sit around a table and just visit with them. And I mean, I haven't seen you for 3 years. December was 3 years. So that's a long time, you know, and usually over Christmas, that's a very sad time for me because usually all the families are together and like I said, my kids are far, so I don't know when I'm going to see them again, and we don't know what's going to happen. So you book flight tickets, and then there's a lockdown again, and you lose those tickets, so you can't plan ahead. It's very hard for me. I think that's the hardest thing in my life I have to deal with. It's just the new kids being so far away. It's I don't think anybody who's in that situation would ever understand it. It's very hard for me. I really, and then sometimes you just wanna chat with your kids and just, you know, it's because it's also like therapy, just to chat with you guys and just to hear what's going on in your life. And that's why I say every time when you contact me, I'm so excited because I love hearing from you kids.
Yeah, because South Africa is, if you're not including daylight savings here in New South Wales and Victoria, South Africa is 9 hours behind Australia. You know, so if I'm getting up to go to at the time to go to school or to go to work, you're already going to bed. You're setting up for your next day. You know, we have to, either one of us has to lose out on sleep, or we have to sort of send a message halfway through your night, and you can reply halfway through my night. So
usually I will check. And the problem is that's why I usually speak to you guys on Sundays, because in the week, usually when I speak to you guys, it's around my lunchtime, then it's your evening. So then usually I'm busy at work, so I can't just phone because now I've got a clinic full of clients and everybody can hear what I'm talking, and so I have to plan to speak to you guys. It's not just picking up my phone. I always first check my world clock before I chat to you guys. So, okay, now you see it's 9 o'clock with you guys at night. It's like maybe 1 o'clock here, so I know you're still awake. And but luckily I know you are always awake very late, so I always take a chance with you. But it's difficult with the others.
It has been over 3 years, and a lot of my own friends or people who ask about, about family, they ask, are you here in Australia with your whole family? And I say, I'm here with everyone except my mother, and my friends are obviously curious of who you are because they've only seen photos of you. And it is interesting as well, especially this time of the year. I find people have significant problems when their kids are in relationships because they're trying to get all the kids at home at once for Christmas, because some of the girlfriends and boyfriends, they want to see their family for Christmas as well. So you have to take turns. But in this case, I don't think I spent a Christmas with you in a long time now. So
it's 3 years.
And
3 years.
And it is it did have its highs and lows, of course, but you keep going. You can't stop,
It's hard with kids staying over, and nowadays in modern society it's happening so for so many people that their kids, they go work in England or in Thailand or Australia or New Zealand. It's like normal. They after school they just go and broaden their horizons and actually follow better careers abroad. So that's so I get to know, and usually when I speak to people like that, they can relate a little bit how it feels for me to don't have my kids close by. So then you can at least just tell because it is frustrating sometimes just to because sometimes you just want I wish I could just get in my car and just quickly drive to you guys, but I know it's never going to be possible. So that small kind of things sometimes get to you. You have to keep your head straight so you don't get like depressed or fall in a ditch, and you just have to pick yourself up and say, listen, this is how it is now. It's just it's hard. It's not always easy, but this is how it is. And I'm happy that you kids can have a good life there, better careers than here in South Africa. There's not a lot of opportunities for youngsters in South Africa. I actually encourage people, if they want to send their kids abroad, even to work on a ship or on a yacht or something, they must do it.
Yes.
Because they pay good money. In South Africa, there's no jobs for youngsters. There's really no job, no work. They work for nothing here. The salaries is very bad. The wages is so bad for young kids.
Well, one of my good friends from Pretoria, when I was still in school there, he's recently moved to Coconut Creek in Florida. So he's, 2 years ago, I think he got a job abroad working on boats, serving people food and whatever else you do. And I thought, great for him. He gets paid in American dollars. That's what, 1 to 15 in South Africa. Like, it's good money.
Yeah.
And now I see he's moved there. He must have done something to get a visa or to whatever his intentions were. I haven't spoken to him since. But yeah, I thought to myself, that's good for him.
Absolutely, it's a good opportunity. Grab it with both hands and go for it.
That's exactly right. When I was moving to Australia, one of my good friends' dad said to me, "This will be the best opportunity for you because you're broadening your international horizon. You're seeing more of the world." And I never understood the significance of travel until I've lived in another country.
And luckily, you are always very also an entrepreneur. Also, I remember as when you were small, you were always busy selling something, always making plans, always busy with some scheme. You always had money. You always had money. Since you were small, you were selling stuff, and you always made money. Always. There was not a time you did not have money. But you also had that drive to go further and to at least try out stuff. You were not waiting for us to make plans for you. When we checked, you already made a plan. You were always very wise and very independent. Even from a young age, when we were small, you were always making some kind of scheme somewhere. And then you will sell stuff, and then people will phone me while you're at school. They will phone me and tell me, "Listen, what is Llewellyn selling again?" Actually, and I will say, "I don't know. You advertise stuff in a newspaper, and then people will phone me because you put my telephone number on when you in school because
I remember that.
They will phone me, and I would have no idea. Now you're selling PlayStation games and selling PlayStation. I remember that. You were always busy.
But yes, for some, I'm very patient, but I didn't have enough patience in the world to wait for you guys to make a plan for me. We were busy kids. I think we got that from you guys though, like because you're good with people, Ma, and Dad's also a hands-on man. So I think we all three of us got that blend and that entrepreneurial.
And we also taught you to make a plan and work something out. We can't do everything for you kids. And you will always had some kind of backup plan somewhere. When I checked again, I say, "Where did you get this?" No. I was so shocked that how did you get this stuff? We always had some kind of plan ahead of time already. So that was you're very wise, really very wise.
Stay-at-home mother. So Dad would go do his job, and you would be at home and you'd look after us kids. You'd take us to school. We weren't allowed to watch The Simpsons at one stage. You taped over The Simpsons for us while you were at home, so we'd watch it when we got home. You helped us cheat a little bit sometimes. I like that, but in healthy ways. And you and Pa, you guys were. He was chip and chopping up F100 utes, or he was selling classic cars to to help make ends meet here and there. And you were breeding dogs, so Mastiffs, Jack Russells, Rottweilers, Border Collies. I even tried getting into that with you for a little bit because there's good money in it, if you we love animals. We're good with dogs. We had lots of dogs anyways in the yard. So
you always had puppies, you guys, because you were selling puppies all the time.
Yeah, we did, and then you were good at it too, because there's people. Again, you had to work with people.
Yeah, and to sell stuff. I love selling stuff. That's really something I got from your granddad. He can sell anything to anybody.
But
So for him, I think I also always made it like a plan with the dogs that I sold, the puppies. It was also like a plan to get an income as well from home, still being with you kids, still being around for you guys.
yeah, because a lot of entrepreneurs, they start their business or whatever their office from their home. That's where
Yeah,
you have your baby steps. That's where you just launch your
yes,
initiative. But yeah, you guys,
absolutely.
even to look after us, you two had plans, you had backup plans, you had things that were going. What was one of my friends in South Africa, his dad said to me, probably something he heard somewhere. He says, "May your money run out, but never your ideas." So
Yes,
if you keep the
yes,
factory going in your head, you're not as bad off as you think you are.
sure, that's for sure. And also, if you can still come up with ideas, that also keeps you, like, I always feel it keeps you like balanced.
Hmm.
Otherwise, when you start falling like in a rut, or like in a rut, you don't have anything. You must get up with a purpose. When you get up in the morning, you must have a purpose for the day.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to follow certain pages, certain businesses, especially businesses abroad, because
Hmm.
business abroad, especially America, they're always ahead of anything. And so I get a lot of ideas from that. So that kind of things keeps me like going,
Yeah.
because I love a challenge, love it. So that was, yeah, we always had to make a plan, and we did. Then with that, we always made a plan.
Well, what I want to ask you as well then is what is so when the divorce happened, and some people describe it as it's like someone coming over with a helicopter, picking you up out of nowhere, then flying out to the ocean and dropping you in the middle of the ocean, and you're like, what just happened? Because
Yeah.
what was the most important thing you've learned about yourself or in life following your divorce? Like what did that tough time in life teach you?
I think the biggest thing was, you like you say, now you're in a deep end, now you must swim. And
Yeah.
I actually learned to be very strong,
Mm.
very independent, and not because people are fickle, like people, they will let you down. You can't depend on people. And I've learned to make a plan and get ideas, and get up, and you have to fight back. You can't go lie down and play the sorry game and feel sorry for yourself. You just have to get up and move on, and make really the best of the situation, make the best of the, and also that's where you need a lot of support from family. And
Yes.
grandmom and granddad was there for me a lot. They helped me a lot. I'm always forever grateful for them. And but from there on, I just because I was at home with you kids most of the time, I
Mm.
didn't have a lot of work experience. So then I had to jump in and get a proper job or a work where I can get experience. And there I got a lot of favor. A lot of people, they just like you as a person. And they even said, even though I don't have any experience, they will train me. And I started out with auditors and bookkeepers, and they trained me from the floor. They paid for everything, they trained me, and I'm forever grateful for those people, because they really believed in me and gave me a chance. And I got a good salary, and I managed to get ahead in life again, and to just to move on again, and lift up your head and move on again.
I do recall at times um, you being a single mother now. At that time, I did notice work seemed to be, like you said, quite the issue. And also I do find there is a slight wage gap in South Africa still. So you would make what is it in Australian terms anyways, 10, $11,000, 100,000 rand a year sort of salary
Yeah,
for
yeah,
admin clerk,
yes,
and you
yes.
know that's expected to pay all your costs of living,
The
and
rent, the food, the gas, petrol, everything.
I
So
remember.
yeah, no, it was tight times. That's why I also think that's why I started to want to work for myself, because the harder you work, you earn for yourself. Now you work harder for other people and you get nothing. You work overtime, you work and you don't get anything for that. But everything I put in now, you do it for yourself. And luckily, I'm not afraid of work. I'm not afraid of working hard. And I worked hard for other people, very hard. And I just realized, you're making them rich and paying off their yacht, and you're paying off their cars for them
Yeah,
because you're
yeah,
working hard and you don't get anything out of the deal.
no,
There's not really overtime. There's overtime in Africa, but it's so little. It's really very little money.
you know, even in those hard times, when you, me, and Simone were living together, like we were happy. Like
Yeah,
I like to think, if we didn't have much else in life, we had each other.
yeah,
We made friends. We were really easy people to deal with. I think, like
yeah,
we were
absolutely.
staying in that that complex duplex place straight after the effect. We
Yeah.
were making friends with people. We were after school. We'd hang out with people until dinner time, and
Oh,
then come back and do it all again.
absolutely. No,
Like,
we actually had a good time there. I was actually very happy there. I
yeah,
really was really was very, very happy there. That was
yeah,
actually
yeah.
nice. That was actually a very nice time. I must totally agree with you.
Just like I said, we were happy with what we had. I said to our other host Lee, I said, when I was younger, I was oblivious anyways. All I really cared about was who's going to be at my next sleepover, or what PlayStation game comes out next.
Yeah,
Or I wasn't
yeah,
I wasn't concerned about much else. I was almost, we were almost like whatever comes next. Like
yeah.
we were we were raised quite well, the three of us. Like
Yes.
we had good
Yeah.
values.
So your dad raised you boys with good values, and in that sense, I must say, you guys got good manners, really good for boys. Even Simone, you guys got good manners, good the way you've got respect for elders, you've got respect for people's stuff. You've got integrity. You don't go and break other people's stuff. Your word is your word, and that's things that's a lot of things your dad was good at, because he was like that. In
Mm.
that sense, yeah, he was a man with integrity, and it rubbed up off on you guys. Absolutely, I must totally say that there was a good foundation laid down in your guys' life.
Well, I said to one of my friends here as well. I said that when we were applying for this house we're staying in now, this unit, Dad, he went to the agents because we had no references, we had no prior history, we were out in the open with nothing. So he went and spoke with them to obviously give a reference and see if he can put us with him on the lease at least. But to put the cherry on the cake, he says to the agent, these boys, these are good boys. This Llewellyn, I raised him by the hand, if you know what I mean. He didn't say it, but he's insinuating I smacked these kids when they were naughty. Like don't
Yeah,
worry,
you've got
if I have
you've
anything to say, they'll be good. So
yeah,
um, yeah, so we were raised really well, which is scarce, and I think because of that, because of how you and how we were raised, we will prevail in business because our word is our
absolutely.
bond. We work hard. We don't know when to stop.
Yeah,
We have had multiple jobs at various times. We don't know when to
yeah,
stop. If anything, if anything, we keep going. And when you're passionate about something, like you're passionate about your business, you work for what feels like 10 minutes and you enjoy it. And then you look at the clock and 3 hours have gone past and go, where did that time go?
It's true. No, that's very true. The days fly by. Weeks feels like a day. Sometimes I'll say this week, the weeks fly by like one day went by. It's like sometimes I can't tell where time goes. It's just like last year was like so fast, and it was done. Like it's just like, and like I say, when you love what you do, that's what happens. You know, time is just like flying by.
Yeah. Well, will you once we rid ourselves of these variants in the world, do you think you'll come and visit us here in Australia if we don't find a way over in South Africa?
I would love to come and visit you guys. I want to see where you guys live and stay and see what your lifestyles are like and see everything where you work. And absolutely, I would love to come and visit. It's like my heart's desire to come and see you guys and be in your environment and see if you tell me about a place and I can at least relate. Okay, I saw that place, I can relate to that place.
Yeah.
But now it's foreign to me. I've never been there. I actually never been out of South Africa's border ever. So for me to see another country will be like freaking life changing. Be like wow to me. I've never ever left South Africa, so that'll be like an experience for me.
Yes, I mean, and of course we'd be still happy to show you around, show you like all the things you see on TV, like on Crocodile Dundee. You see what Australia looks like, and some of the outback parts of Australia. Even
you just see this border patrol. It looks like a very sick country.
Yeah,
it's actually frightening. You look at how strict those people are.
Yeah,
I know Australia is very strict with the when it comes to discipline and
yeah, and even Bondi Rescue, where people are on Bondi Beach and they're nearly drowning, and like things like that. Even now, like I have on the 26th of January, we have Australia Day, which marks the day that Australia was found by settlers, and they, it's like in South Africa with 1652 when Jan van Riebeeck found South Africa. That's what Australia Day is like. The point is, with that, I'm doing my citizenship ceremony. I'm going to become an Australian citizen, and I'm going to swear before people and God to uphold Australian values. And for you to jump in a car and come and see that would be an outer-worldly experience. And I'm supposed to graduate at the end of this year. The ceremony would be next year, and I would love for you to be able to be there. These are huge life events.
I would definitely work towards it, but as far as I can, definitely. Absolutely, I would love to attain that. Absolutely, I would love to do it.
Yeah, so it is.
It would be like a great, life changing for me.
Yeah, so there are things that I wish, because like I said, a lot of my friends know of you, they just have never met you. It's one thing I would have loved to express in words for them. Is it's not just a matter of I'm here and you're there. It's everything in between. It's communication barriers. It's at these prime ages, you miss out on a lot of things.
Oh my word, absolutely. I think that's the biggest thing for me to deal with, is missing out on stuff. Oh, it's not just like I'm get in my car and quickly drive there and attend stuff. It's just like I'm in another country. It's not possible.
Yeah.
So I've missed out on so many things, which is, I think that's the hardest thing for me to deal with, is missing out on stuff. Yeah. And every time we do like a video call or a video chat, every time I see you guys' faces, it looks different. I can see how your faces changes and your hairstyles changes and how you've grown. It's hard for me. It's really hard for me to see that. So to keep your, it's, I don't think, like I said, if anybody who goes through this will not understand it. They can't even have sympathy with you because they don't know how it feels. To have your kids so far away.
No, it is in a way exciting to think that, I'll have someone to go visit overseas now. It is exciting in that regard, but you see people with their families, and you think you'd rather just go somewhere and live in a hostel instead of having someone to count on in another country.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, but I've even seen people with their families close by. They don't even see each other. They don't go and visit each other. They don't see each other, and they stay like the same town, same city, and they see each other for months. They don't go visit each other, and that's sad. It's really sad. And then my kids are so far away. I just wish I can see them at least once a week, and it's not possible for me.
Yeah, and it's obviously with these recent changes in the world as well, it's even harder now. Definitely makes me wish every time I had a spare $1,000 or $2,000, I would have used it and gone back one more time. But
and it's expensive. It's very expensive.
Yeah, very.
I mean, airline tickets, it's expensive. It's pricey.
Yeah.
It's like you have to really save up for that. It's not just like buying, put some gas in your car and there you go. It's very expensive, and you must go for a long time to make it worth the trip. Don't just go for one. If you go, must at least go for at least a month to make it worth the while.
Yeah.
And worth the expenses.
So yeah, that's also one part that you can't explain to people. You say, yeah, look, I could go if I wanted to, but are you going to pay for the airline tickets and the accommodation and my time off work? Like
that's the thing people don't take into account is your lodging and the food, and it's better for people to come to South Africa with the dollar and the South African rand than South Africa going to Australia, because for $100, 1,000 rand is $100 more or less in Australia, and for you guys it's like 1,000 rand in our. It's just the currency is just much. You guys are in the better in that sense.
Yeah.
Just more advantage for you guys to come here and pay everything, because it's much cheaper for you than for us going that side. So expensive.
As a closing note as well, just thank you for taking the time to have a conversation with me. For once, it's a recorded conversation. All the other ones are just how you're going along the way throughout the day. Yeah. This time around, I'm quite happy to. It's quite a meaningful interview for me. This one, I've had some good guests on here, I will admit. One of your clients as well, Pablo Andres Vera. We had him on, and I saw as well. I even saw he gave a testimony on your website as well about your business, and he was also very impressed by it. And we've had some people in the medical field on here before, and it still astonishes me. I don't know anything about medicine or health. It's not so much. It's never been a passion of mine, and because it's never been a passion, I've never indulged in it. So now I don't know anything about it. That, and I don't like needles.
Yeah.
So
I also didn't, but you get used to it, and I still pause. Sometimes I still pause before, because sometimes I have to do like 22 injections on one person.
Yeah.
It's a lot of holes in a person, right?
Yeah.
So I literally pause before each injection still. It's still freaky. It's not nice always. It's still like, it freaks me out still, but you get used to it. Remember when I used to inoculate our puppies?
Yes, I remember that.
I had to do inoculations myself, and I think that's why I started using needles. But that's a thick needle, and it's a different needle. To do it on humans, totally different.
Yes.
And especially if you have to do like inject people into their chin areas, it's in their faces. It's really not nice. That's the part I hate the most, is to do injections in the face. But usually when I do that, I start out with that first and just get it over with. It's not a nice area to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still a mind thing for me. And I've been doing this for up to almost 2.5, 3 years now. So sometimes I'm still forced, and I still have to get my mind around the injections.
Or even Dr. Marta Cohen, who's a qualified pediatric pathologist.
Yeah.
She can't deal with patients face to face because it's too personal for her. She doesn't. She did say at one stage the doctor who she was shadowing gave someone an injection and they started screaming and then she fainted. So like you can be.
I always will freak out though, because people are scared of injections and they will go like, and then they don't do that, you freak out. And you're really big grown people scared like babies.
Yes.
Really, they're often, listen, we don't have to do this. No, they want to. They did. Yeah, then they just pull through.
That bombshell. I'll have to close off. Thank you again, Mom. And
it's a pleasure, Llewellyn. Always nice chatting to you. Love it.